I first met Katie Cunningham in 2008, and she's lived in Antigua, a beautiful spot in Guatemala. She received an acknowledgement from Queen Elizabeth II. Katie has worked in recent times with the Brook International. It's Katie Cunningham, a wonderful lady, inspired by her two courses, but also by the demo that we did down there.
I want to come back here to Guatemala. Maybe next year. Katie and Ricardo, come in here, please. They've been working so hard, it's unbelievable.
So, Katie Cunningham.
Yeah, I know this has been a leap of faith for you, encouraging this program along the way, which began, I think, when you came down to Guatemala, that you were with a horse called Ricky, who was very scared of plastic, and you walked over the tarpaulin, and the music went on, and you said something like,
if Ricky and I can cause one young man not to be violent with his family,
y si entre Ricky y yo podemos lograr que un padre joven deje de ser violento con sus hijos,
then we have done the best demonstration possible.
habremos ofrecido la mejor demostración posible.
and people still say to this day, oh my God, that show was amazing, and it really affected so many people's lives who aren't necessarily involved in horses. So really we saw the connection between the human application and in a country like Guatemala. I think that what we've done that's different from other violence reduction programs is that we've basically facilitated a simple horse handling program inspired by Join Up, in which our participants discover for themselves that violence is never the answer. And so it's about creating an environment of trust, but we present the program to the participants that are already in the Brook program as a handling course in which hopefully their equine will become more cooperative and work better for them, and therefore they'll be better off. And it's only a number of sessions, not much time needed, and in their interest, and so that's why they're drawn towards it. But they step into that environment and they live and feel and see and breathe the positive effects of being a non-aggressive leader. So they can, within a short space of time, within a few minutes, they have a 1,000-pound animal walking behind them, wanting to be with them because they've acted in a certain way, because they've had their position in their body in a certain way, they're breathing in a certain way, their eyes. And so it's just a totally new sense of self-realization or observation of themselves. But there's absolutely no imposing of the idea. They're the ones who make the discovery, and they're the ones who make the translation to their lives as well. So initially we went in with this really simple horse handling program, hoping that we'd see an improvement in the physical welfare and psychological welfare of the working equines. And we hoped that it would affect the people as well. Well, when we did the pilot program, we just had incredible results when we saw this shift, profound shift in attitudes and behavior towards non-aggression. And people who have had virtually no education, who have violence running through their blood, but they grasped it because of what we refer to as the embodied experience, that they lived and breathed and felt it. It wasn't information fed to them, it was just something that they learned and discovered for themselves. So we feel that that's the difference, and that this basically is a program about the metaphor of Join Up as a style of leadership and as a style of living our lives. And it's a program that is not religious and it's not political, whereas so many other NGOs and programs have come in with an agenda. These are lessons learned from the herd. This comes directly from the horse. It's nature. But the beauty of it is the simplicity of just that experience. The things that we take for granted have a profound effect on people it's never occurred to them that violence is never the answer. It's never occurred to them that actually they can still be the leader of their family, they can still be the man, they can still hold their head high and their shoulders back, but they don't need to use violence. And actually, I believe that people are all looking for hope, actually, and they're looking for a better future. And what we saw was a new sense of self-value and self-esteem, that actually they could still be this leader, but without having to use violence. So it was almost like a sense of relief for them. We began because Monty gave us the green light and said, go ahead and investigate a little bit more. So we did a workshop with various different representatives from communities to gauge their response. And we had such positive feedback. These people grasped the idea and how it could help their community from the very beginning. And so we chose to work with Yerba Buena because it's of history of violence. We performed a demonstration in front of the whole community with some very, very kind of hostile people, but everyone was impressed by the demonstration. And then we signed up a number of participants, 5 men and 3 teenagers. And we had interviews with the people beforehand and gauged their response to violence. And we then guided them through 6 sessions of join up and other desensitization and non-violent handling exercises. And then we presented them with a little certificate there at the end. The focus was on the shift in attitude and behavior and not teaching them technical join up. We had kids who had behavioral issues who then became much more cooperative. This is us building the round pen in the community. It cost us about $50 to make that round pen, and everyone chipped in. It was still on a slope by the time we finished, but it was the best that we could do. And it became like a social center. These kids don't even have a playground. They have nowhere to play. And so every afternoon they would crowd around this round pen. Well, this program is universal. It doesn't matter which country or which creed, which political beliefs. It's about the message and the people discovering for themselves that violence is never the answer. We had some worksheets and photographs of traditional methods and methods that we were using during the program. And they spoke so from the heart, saying, this is what we used to do. This is the way we used to throw the horse down to the ground. And everyone would stand around and they would laugh. We will never do that again. He says, we will never do that again. Now we know, and our kids know, and they will grow up knowing that there's another way. And she said, well, what do you think? How do you think it's going to be in 2 years' time? And he said, just better, better and better, because we know that there's another way now. So it was very reassuring.